Today is November 11th. It is Veterans Day. I want to give a huge thank you to everybody who served, everybody who lost someone who served. Deeply grateful for all that you've done for our country, for your sacrifice. Obviously part of a military family myself. My dad served, my oldest son Josh is serving, Randy served, and I know it's gotta be hard, man. I know it's gotta be hard for so many of you who served this country or who lost someone serving this country, protecting us, you know, from badness, from socialism, from communism, from all of it. And here we are, you know, looking like we're on the precipice of losing the country. It's gotta be very frustrating for you. And I just want to thank you for all you've done and for your service, and tell you the same thing I've been saying for a week, right? Don't give up yet. It is not over till it's over. And some things are happening. Some things are definitely happening. So along those lines, here's a little video, some clips that I've screen recorded over the past couple days, because now I figured out how to do that. I still think we're gonna win, folks. I really do. I still think we're gonna win. I guess there's a chance we won't. There's always that chance. But I think we're gonna. So enjoy these clips and keep on top of what's going on. And if you hear about any fraud, if you see of any fraud, if you know of any fraud, send it in, because there is nothing too small at this point, right? We have to do our duty and do our part, and we have to support freedom and true elections. Every single legal vote should be counted. And if we get down to the end of the day and more people legally voted for Joe Biden than President Trump, then Joe Biden should be our new president. I don't think that's the case, though. I don't think that's what really happened. I don't think so. So let's do it over if we have to. If we have to do the whole damn thing over and do it the right way, then let's do it. But let's make dang sure that whoever gets sworn in as president on January 21st, 2021 is the actual winner and not a big ol' freaking cheater. Enjoy the video.
So I just wanted to touch on something here. I haven't been watching the news, but I see the news clips, and I see the games and the shenanigans and chicanery that is being deployed upon the American public through the media. They've lost all credibility. Did you notice that Newsmax and other independent channels have not called the race yet? Did you know that the General Services Administration has not begun the process, and they've blocked the process for Biden to go and begin the transition, because they're not going to have it either. So what we need to do is just realize that, you know, these leftists, okay, are not liberals. Liberals do not have the philosophies that they have. They do not want violence, and they don't create turmoil, and they don't act like a bunch of gloating trolls on social media, which to me is just hilarious. It's just fun, you know, because I know what's happening, right? And these people don't understand that the Electoral College is the one that makes the selection, and they haven't done that yet. That's not going to happen until January. So there are media outlets also claiming that there's no evidence. I personally have seen videos, surveillance videos, and more videos, sworn affidavits from people in the United States Postal Service. I've seen people posting about how their vote didn't get counted, all right? This is not a software glitch. And you could see that in my Parler. I've posted some articles there so that you could all go there and have some information from legitimate publications that actually tell the story, not the fantasy, but the actual fact. So, we separate the fact from the fiction, and we don't, look, having a little fun with some trolls, that's all good. You just don't have to get in their game, you know, because we're above it. And that's how we do. That's how patriots act. We always have to do what's right. And the truth will come out. And we will maintain what we know as the United States of America. It will not be just handed over because of cheating with software owned by companies that you could see in my Parler. It goes very deep. But the point is that there's a recourse and there's another path. The score, I believe, actually the electoral score is 232 to 266 because there are 7 states right now that are in question and that are being officially recounted by the secretaries of state of those voting districts, okay? There's going to be a full discovery, and we're going to get to the bottom of this Dominion Hammer scorecard thing and find out what's really going on. And the courts are going to do that. And just know that when Bush won his Supreme Court appeal, 3 of his attorneys from back then are on the Supreme Court now. You get it? They understand the argument. They've seen it, and they've made it. They know both sides of it. So we are going to have a fair decision from the Supreme Court based in integrity and understanding what the Constitution means. So I don't want anybody to trip out. A lot of people are DMing me that they're panicked, they're upset, they're in tears, they're crying, they're scared for their families, they're scared for their futures. But let me tell you something, okay? In the words of Pootie Tang, Wadata, all right? Wadata. Sepatow, my babies. That's a can of pan all the way down. And if you haven't seen Pootie Tang, go see it now, because now's a good time for you to laugh. All right? And chill. Everything's good. I'm working on my website. I'm working on some merch. I got some stuff I'm doing. Occupy your time, you know? I have another business that I got stuff going on with, like insurance policies and contracts. You know, there's shit to do. All right? So go out and do it. And I don't know about you, but in California, it's chilly, but it's a beautiful day. So get outside, spend some time with your families, your friends, your fucking dogs, your cats. Put your cat on a leash, bring them outside, whatever it is. All right? This is under control. And if you are someone who is losing faith, you DM me, okay? Because I got nothing.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here today in my personal capacity as an advisor to the campaign. This election is not over. Far from it. We have only begun the process of obtaining an accurate, honest vote count. We are fighting for the rights of all Americans who want to have faith and confidence not only in this election, but in the many elections to come. There is only one party in America that opposes voter ID. One party in America that opposes verifying signatures, citizenship, residency, eligibility. There is only one party in America trying to keep observers out of the count room. And that party, my friends, is the Democrat Party. You don't take these positions because you want an honest election. You don't oppose an audit of the vote because you want an accurate count. You don't oppose our efforts at sunlight and transparency because you have nothing to hide. You take these positions because you are welcoming fraud and you are welcoming illegal voting. Our position is clear. We want to protect the franchise of the American people. We want an honest, accurate, lawful count. We want maximum sunlight. We want maximum transparency. We want every legal vote to be counted, and we want every illegal vote to be discarded. Unlike our opponents, we have nothing to hide. The integrity of our election matters. The Constitution of the United States matters. What we have seen across the country is Democrat officials systematically trying to do an end run around the Constitution to tip the scales of the election in their favor. As Justice Gorsuch wrote in DNC versus Wisconsin State Legislature, our oath to uphold the Constitution is tested by hard times, not easy ones. Last-minute changes to long-standing election rules risk other problems too, inviting confusion and chaos and eroding public confidence in electoral outcomes. Pennsylvania is a case study in just this. Allow me to just broadly review 3 points that have happened in Pennsylvania. Number one, in Philadelphia, poll watchers who are legally permitted to be there and observe the vote count were blocked from observing the count. Our poll watchers were put behind barricades in a massive room. They were many feet from the counting process, and in fact, when you look at all of the tables, many hundreds of feet, in fact, from the tables in the very back. They were completely in the dark, completely unable to oversee the vote count, as was their legal right.
This time, it involves our intelligence community. Ken, what have you learned, sir?
Oh, shit. Fuck.
Okay. Think we lost Ken for a second.
Trump says, see, I told you the whole thing was fraudulent.
The election is November 3rd, and it's been said that we won't know the results until days later. When do you think we'll know the results?
All right. Jimmy, you raise an important point, and I hope the American people understand it, because this is something I worry about. My view is every vote must be counted.
Okay. I guess most people could have predicted that.
You're going to have a situation, I suspect, in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin.
Okay, I guess, yeah, most could have predicted the exact states.
Where they are going to be receiving huge amounts of mail-in ballots. And unlike states like Florida or Vermont, they're not being able, for bad reasons, to begin processing those ballots until, I don't know, election day, or maybe when the polls close. That means you're going to have states dealing with perhaps millions of mail-in ballots. Here is my worry. What polls show and what studies have shown is that for whatever reason, Democrats are more likely to use mail-in ballots. Republicans are more likely to walk into polling booths on election day. It is likely that the first votes that will be counted will be those people who came in on election day, which will be Republican. And here is the fear, and I hope everybody hears that. But it could well be that at 10 o'clock on election night, Trump is winning in Michigan, he's winning in Pennsylvania, he's winning in Wisconsin, and he gets on the television, he says, "Thank you, Americans, for re-electing me. It's all over. Have a good day."
And frankly, we did win this election.
So I'm just assuming that Bernie Sanders is from the future.
But then the next day and the day following, all of those mail-in ballots start getting counted, and it turns out that Biden has won those states. At which point Trump says, "See, I told you the whole thing was fraudulent. I told you those mail-in ballots were crooked, and we're not going to leave office." So that is a worry that I and a lot of people have. So the results, we don't know what's happened. Maybe the results will be on our election day, but
right into Michigan. I know everyone's waiting for this. I hope you enjoy this, and we'll have Q&A. Jen will help us with that. So in Michigan, there's around 86 counties, and what was analyzed here was a top 4 counties were analyzed: Oakland County, Macomb County, Kent County, and Wayne County. By the way, all the data we're looking at, there's 2 sets of data: the early voting data, and then the voting data on election day. In some cases, in Kent County and Wayne County, we combine them. So there's 2 sets of data. So let's proceed. Now, the executive summary, this is what you're going to get out of this. So if you need to leave right now and you're going to run off to do something, the conclusion of this, which we like to present up front, is that there are in the three major counties that were analyzed out of the four, Trump's margin was reduced by a minimum of 138,000 votes. I'll repeat that. President Trump's margin was reduced by a minimum of 138,000 votes. So what that means is Trump's vote total was decreased by 69,000, and Biden's vote total was increased by 69,000. In short, 69,000 votes were transferred from Trump to Biden in these counties, and they varied across those counties, but a total of 69 counties. The other piece is this quote unquote transfer was done by a computer algorithm that linearly transferred. What that means, it transferred votes in a proportional basis. For example, the more votes got transferred from Trump to Biden, interestingly enough, as you went to precincts that increased in Republicanism, which means there were more Republicans in that precinct. So basically, and we'll show you, so the vote transfer really occurs more in Republican-based precincts and less in non-Republican-based precincts.
Is the State Department currently preparing to engage with the Biden transition team? And if not, at what point does a delay hamper a smooth transition or pose a risk to national security?
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. Right? We're ready. The world is watching what's taking place here. We're going to count all the votes. When the process is complete, there'll be electors selected. There's a process. The Constitution lays it out.
Is the State Department currently preparing to engage with the Biden transition team? And if not, at what point does a delay hamper a smooth transition or pose a risk to national security?
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. Right? We're ready. The world is watching what's taking place here. We're going to count all the votes. When the process is complete, there'll be electors selected. There's a process. The Constitution lays it out pretty clearly. The world should have every confidence that the transition necessary to make sure that the State Department is functional today, successful today, and successful with the president who's in office on January 20th, a minute afternoon, will also be successful.
So you believe there's widespread voter fraud, that the reports that we're getting from Pennsylvania, from Michigan, showing vote totals in massive leads or significant leads with 99% reporting are going to be overturned, and that the United States failed to conduct a fraudulent free election?
Rich, I'm the Secretary of State. I'm getting calls from all across the world. These people are watching our election. They understand that we have a legal process. They understand that this takes time. Right? It took us 37 plus days in an election back in 2000. We conducted a successful transition then. I'm very confident that we will count, and we must count every legal vote. We must make sure that any vote that wasn't lawful ought not be counted. That dilutes your vote if it's done improperly. Got to get that right. When we get it right, we'll get it right. We're in good shape.
Should foreign leaders not be calling
we're
President-elect Biden?
It was next.
This department frequently sends out statements encouraging free and fair elections abroad.
Yes.
And for the losers of those elections to accept the results, doesn't President Trump's refusal to concede discredit those efforts?
That's ridiculous. And you know it's ridiculous. And you asked it because it's ridiculous. Look, the truth. You asked the question, yes, ma'am. You asked the question. If you will permit me to answer it, you asked a question that is ridiculous. This department cares deeply to make sure that elections around the world are safe and secure and free and fair. And my officers risk their lives to ensure that that happens. They work diligently on that. We often encounter situations where it's not clear about a particular election. We work to uncover facts. We work to do discovery to learn whether, in fact, the outcome, the decision that was made reflected the will of the people. That's our responsibility. It's what we try to do, along with partners all across the world, along with OSCE inspectors, to make sure that those elections were free and fair. We want every one of those votes to be counted in the same way that we have every expectation that every vote here in the United States will be counted too. It is totally appropriate. The United States has an election system that is laid out deeply in our Constitution, and we're going to make sure that we get that right. And we have, all of you have, and should be committed to making sure that that happens. I think every one of you wants that same outcome. You want every vote to be counted. You want to run the process. We want the law to be imposed in a way that reflects the reality of what took place. And that's what I think we're engaged in here in the United States, and is what we work on every place all across the world. Thank you all.
How are you advising diplomats overseas?